boy. Oh, it is Tuesday, and I am so tired. Oh, yep, that's me. It's telling me I'm live. Man, I had a long fucking morning. This is as low as this chair goes. I'm trying to get so, like, it doesn't cut off my head like that. But, yeah, so crazy week in the NFL. Crazy games, crazy everything. What's up, CD Lamb? Oh, man. And Venomous, how are you? We're going to give it a little couple minutes here. Working on getting all my stuff set up. Yeah, new camera position. So, background's technically a green screen, but I like having the look of like a full room for certain things. So like if I go to this one that I'm playing around with, I'm cut out. But here, I'm not. So yeah, I'm playing around with it. We'll see. It's not quite there yet. I think I can move my green screen closer. But yeah, give it like 2 minutes and I'll get started. I'm working on like new stuff. I added some like transitions. I've added a whole bunch of things. What's up, ABS? Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate it. I've always liked having the option to do that. Oh, neck is killing me. Man, I'm going to sleep like a fucking baby tonight. Oh, man. Glad you guys like it. Okay. Gonna get into some of the stuff I wanted to talk about. So, not only was there the big news, obviously, of the Rams like losing and the 49ers winning last night, the thumbnail, if you saw, was the butt interception, the to ain't, if you will, to int, that should have happened. And man, that fucking sucks that didn't happen. It's so unfortunate. Here, I'll show it real quick. Oh god, this is terrible quality, never mind. But yeah, it's the thumbnail, like, here, I'll just go to the pictures. I think the NFL needs to implement some kind of rule of cool. If you don't know what that is, it's like the trope that... yes, the buttception. So the rule of cool is a trope used in like video, and like I know it from Dungeons and Dragons mostly, but to where if something's super fucking sick, you leave it in, and like screw reality, just for a little bit. Man, I wish they had a rule of cool. That should have stand. Like, that was so incredible. I really wish that it was a thing. So much. So much I wish it was a thing. But it's not. It would be quote unquote unfair. I think it was unfair that didn't count. It's this I have up to. Sorry, I'm woefully unprepared. I was going through a bunch of stuff. Start the petition. Hell yeah, I would spearhead that immediately. But yeah, so that didn't count, which is a crime against humanity. But let's real quick, we'll go through and just take a look. Just take a look at the entire week of what went down, because it was so insane again. Like Thursday night, huge upset. that Titans Saints, that was pretty much expected. Bills Jets, a huge beatdown. The Lions tying the Steelers, which is just hilarious in every way, shape, and form. The fact that the Lions couldn't also, they could not lose that game, but also not win. It's just painfully ironic being 0-8. Colts Jaguars, a little closer. Yeah, poor Mike White. Rip the dream. He might get another chance, though. We'll see. That's a hard defense to go up against. I wanted him to succeed, too. Big upset here. The Washington football team over the Buccaneers. The Patriots absolutely clobbered the Browns like 45-7. The Cowboys destroying the Falcons by 40. Big upset here. We don't have to talk about that one, though. Now, Cam Newton coming back. He didn't get much playing time, but he made it count. Oh, you think Mike White's annoying? I wanted a Jets quarterback to come out of nowhere and succeed. Buccaneers changed their logo? Oh, football team? Oh, yeah, it's like a... Normally it's like white or yellow, right? The W? The Vikings won. That's actually kind of surprising that they didn't choke. Packers shutting out the Seahawks to give Russell Wilson the first shutout of his career. Eagles just slapping around the Broncos. Chiefs destroyed the Raiders. And the Niners destroyed the Rams. Like, it was almost like, I don't think many predictions were right at all. The Browns are terribly inconsistent. I agree. It's, you really don't know who you're getting. And we'll see. Maybe OBJ wasn't the problem. I don't think he's necessarily a solution, but he might not be the problem either. Yeah, this is like, anyone who like sports gambles a lot this week must have been like hell. Yeah, every team's inconsistent. Like, here, Saints are the most. Yeah, they also, well, they had Jameis Winston, and now they have Trevor Siemian, so they might be the most inconsistent, as you said, but I would give them a pass. You do your predictions, go to a website where you pick. Do you have a recommendation? So I can do that. I was just going over these ones. But I can definitely do that. But like, what's so nuts about this is there's like, everything's open. Like, everything. What happened to Taysom Hill? They're paying him a lot of money to do random things for some snaps. I think he was hurt too, but he clearly is not the like main quarterback. Yeah, that makes sense. Like, just look at this playoff picture. Packers and Cardinals are both 8-2. 7-2 for the Cowboys. Buccaneers 6-3. Rams 7-3. Then we get 5-4 and 5-5. Like, there's like 4 teams that are like a game or two out from being able to take the NFC wildcard spots, like these bottom 2. And then look at this. Like, this madness. 5-3-1, 6-4, 5-4, 5-4, 5-4, 5-5, 5-5, and 5-5. It's crazy. Oh my goodness. See, cheaters go to this website where they. Yeah, I'll look around. I haven't necessarily decided. I was just gonna like say them and change, but yeah, like there is nothing guaranteed. Like, especially like they're these aren't even like these are even closer. These divisions, it's anybody's game. NFC's a little bit more like kind of has some more of a picture, but still not even. Creators, okay. Simeon over Hill, maybe they just don't like what they're seeing with the whole experiment with the Taysom Hill experiment. Yeah, it's for the inconsistency. Being 5-4 is pretty good for the Saints. Like they have the number 6 spot. Like last year he played bad. Yeah, I had him in fantasy because I was desperate for quarterback. Like no one's out of it yet, technically. I mean, out of these in the NFC looking, I can really only think I could see the Seahawks with getting Russell Wilson back could try to make a push, but it's gonna be hard otherwise. Yeah, Taysom was just like this. Seemed like this experiment that Sean Payton was trying to do that just didn't work. Like I don't know. Like he wanted a quarterback that he could throw in there some plays for some reasons that can run, just so he wouldn't run his quarterback. It seemed like, but it's weird. See these bottom ones here. I mean, I don't trust the Broncos necessarily. They're the close. These ones are pretty much done. Wait, where's number 7 in the NFC spot? Carolina. Yep, Carolina, but like anybody could come and take that. Like it's so close. Like other than the bottom 2 spots, AFC's a little like it gets down there and then becomes the exact same the rest of the way up, but yeah, it's crazy. Oh yeah, 49ers still have a chance easily. They're just 2 spots out. They win next week and the week after, then they're pretty much going to be in. Let's see. I don't know who plays who. Rams have a bye week. I know that. Cardinals play the Seahawks. Murray might not play though, so that might not be good. Be the Jaguars next week, the Vikings in 2 weeks. Carolina lose. Oh yeah. I think they definitely could. I think they could definitely beat the Jaguars. Yeah, it's so stupid. It's insane, but I love it. Just how much like it's anybody's game still, and we're entering week 11. Vikings after they had a huge win. Yeah, that was a big win. Who do the Vikings play next? I know you said they play the 49ers coming up soon, but who do they play next week? The Packers. Packers defense has been gnarly, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, we'll see on that one. Yeah, just incredible like parody. Trying to see if there's any. Is there like a lot of teams on buys like this next week? Looks like the same amount the week after too, and then it kind of gets back into it. Let's see if there's a better spot to do like picks. Let's see if there's a spot where I just could do like a submission, or I can sign into something. Oh, these are just the lines. I'll look into that later. Next week has a lot of good matchups. Yeah, let's take a look at next week. All right, I'm gonna like type down my predictions here too. All right, you know what? I'll watch it back and then I'll do that. ESPN's thing. Let me check. Let me log in real quick to it. It'd be starting like during like this week, so it's not gonna be. I'm obviously gonna be losing in whatever I join. All right, this will work. Just Broncos and Rams. I know there's a big like I don't remember which week it was. There was a huge like bye week. I think it was week 9 or week 8. There's a lot of them. At least it felt like it for my. Oh, maybe it was week 7 here. Week 6 has a lot. Yeah, so this is what it's like in Arizona, except it changes halfway through the year or halfway through the season. Which actually is my favorite time when it does that because it starts later and then I can sleep in more. So I don't have to wake up at 10. All right, let's do. That is terribly off center. I'm going to move me real quick. It is pretty nice because then your whole day is just like you wake up to football, which is cool. But I can also see why I actually was able to get up and go to the gym before the games, which is really nice. I would like to have more time like beforehand. Okay, oh my god. Yeah, I mean, yeah. First matchup, Patriots, Falcons, Patriots. Their defense has been something else. I'm assuming this is going with the standard format of at. Yep. So it's going to be left team is away, right team is there. No heart attacks. Wow. Colts, Bills. So, I mean, it'd be hard not to pick the Bills here. Like, I think the Colts have been playing better, but the Bills have a really good defense. And Carson Wentz, like, does things that make my heart hurt, like, just in pure fear. I would love the Falcons to win, don't get me wrong. I just don't necessarily believe in them, especially with how Patriots defense has been playing. Yeah, I agree. West Coast is pretty awesome for that. Especially for the night games, you're right. The night games are the biggest difference. Colts, Bills. Bills are at home too, so I'm gonna Bills. Colts upset. That would be cool. I'd be down for it. AFC stuff, I don't really have a team that I'm particularly rooting for, so I will root for chaos. I would be happy with any chaos. Ravens at Bears. Ravens. I think Justin Fields is looking a little bit better, but still Ravens. They just got embarrassed. I think they're going to come out and just smack the Bears. Lions, Browns. Yeah, I think the Browns. Again, I think better, like, not necessarily good teams, but better teams, when they get embarrassed, they come out and just destroy the next game. Go Bears. I don't know if I necessarily believe in them, but again, rooting for chaos. And Lions and Chargers. Oh my god. 1%. Titans are at home. Man, this would be an upset. I wonder what the line, like, what are the odds for this? Hold on. All right, 10.5 spread. Oh, it's only plus 400? That's not as much as I thought. I won a decent bit of money betting on the Jaguars when Josh Allen went on the Manning cast, so that was super cool because I won, like, I think it was like an 8 times payout for that. That was awesome. Yeah, Titans. This would be the prime example of if the Texans win, this will be exactly what's been happening this season, is these insane just upsets that no one sees coming or no one expects to happen. Packers at Vikings. So I was listening to a stat. I don't know who was saying it, but with Kirk Cousins and the Vikings, it's actually more close than I think you'd expect. I think it's like just on the other side of 500 between these two in favor of the Packers. So it's not like the Packers destroy them every time. Let's see. I'm locking this in. My boy Mike White, he's gonna come back. I want to do some upsets, and I think that's actually not a bad upset. I know Packers, but just wouldn't that be? I can't trust what happened last week. It's just been chaos. Are the Packers getting their linemen back? I did. Means out. Most likely, yes. They activated him, but I don't know if he's gonna play. Vikings because Aaron Jones. That's a good point. Is if they are going to be missing Aaron Jones, but that's had the Vikings won last week actually. They still have Dylan, but sometimes when you take those guys that are like a 1-2 punch and you take away one of them, they kind of struggle. But man, my heart says Minnesota Vikings upset. But it's hard to count out the Packers with how their defense has been playing. Their offense hasn't been particularly great, but their defense has been fantastic. I'm going to go the Packers, but if the Vikings win, that would sure be something, wouldn't it? I'm hoping the Vikings win. Saints at Eagles. Saints at Eagles. So let's go back to so I can get an idea of where Eagles just won against the Broncos. The Saints just lost against the Titans. Oh, come back. Where did you go? Or did I do? Oh, okay. Wrong browser. Eagles are at home. I don't know how their home record is versus their away record. I'll go Saints. I believe in the Saints more than I do the Eagles, even if they are inconsistent. Washington, Carolina. I'm going to go Carolina. I think they're still going to be surging from Cam Newton being back. I think that's going to die out eventually, but I don't think it's going to happen whenever. Like, I think it's going to be riding that high for a few weeks. 49ers at Jaguars. 49ers are away, so 49ers. 49ers are a lot better on the road than they have been at home. Yep, Panthers. I agreed. Bengals at Raiders. This one's a toughie too. Oh, here. Let's just lock this one up. I think the Cowboys are going to win over the Chiefs. Man, I've been picking a lot of away teams. So, Raiders just got embarrassed, and I do think a lot of times teams, when they're embarrassed, they come back. I'm thinking the Bengals, too. They're coming off their bye, aren't they? Give me the Bengals. Interesting. So, I mentioned it in the stream before. There's a weird dynamic with these two teams to where the away team wins. But I think without Kyler, the Seahawks are going to win. I just do. I think when Kyler Murray's not out there, like even half of a Kyler Murray is better than any other quarterback they've had on their roster in the last 3 years. I'll go with the Seahawks. I think Russell Wilson looks a lot better next week after shitting the bed. Steelers at Chargers. I'll go Chargers. That seems right to me. They're at home. Steelers, while getting embarrassed, I don't believe in their offense enough to come out swinging. Pray that I'm right. I don't know. I think the Raiders are in a tough spot. Everything that's gone wrong, like I think it was Pat McAfee was talking about this, or someone else, like someone that's like big into like that stuff, was saying that like everything's kind of came crashing down. They held it off like by pure like will the last few weeks, but like losing their coach, losing Henry Ruggs, everything else, like all that's kind of coming back to haunt them. All right, and the last pick. Yeah, that's easy. Buccaneers just lost. Tom Brady's going to be angry. Giants don't look great. They're injured as all hell for their skill positions. That seems right to me. Let's give it a good old look-see once again. That feels right. This could be one that I see swaying, being just insane how the season's been. I feel confident in that one. Pretty confident in this one, too. Falcons, Chargers, Bears, Lions, Bengals. Just like taking down all those AFC teams. Minus the Bengals. The tiebreaker. How many points will be scored in Giants versus Buccaneers? I'll say the score will be 31-17 Buccaneers. So that would be 48. I can enter the truly ESPN Pigskin Pick'em sweepstakes. No, thank you. Can I just submit them and I'll just join a random group? Sure, why not you? The Lions won't have too much pressure if the Bengals actually win. Yeah, Lions don't have any pressure right now, like as far as like expectations, but there's probably a lot of people that feel pressure to keep their jobs right now. Okay, went through that. We checked the playoff picture. Okay, so this is how I'm going to do my power rankings as a tier list, because tier lists are, I think they're fun. I think they're a good visual. Pull up my document here. So yeah, I'm doing 1 through 15 basically the upper echelon of teams. So 11 through 15 is going to go here. 6 through 10 is going here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. So, okay. Just making sure my camera's in a good spot. Then I have to get this back up because I clicked off it like an idiot. So this will be a crazy stretch, but you'll see what I mean. 15. Pittsburgh Steelers. They just got their ass handed. Like, they didn't get their ass handed to them. They handed themselves their own ass in a tie. But the like lower end of teams like are really struggling. Like, they're like at the bottom of that cusp of like close, like to close to 500. So I'm putting them at 15. I mean, it was fucking hilarious. They did have Mason, so it is hard to judge a team too hard when they have their backup quarterback going in, which is also like why, if you look in like power rankings this week, the Cardinals didn't take too big of a hit. But yeah, they have to get moved down losing to the Lions. They have to, or like tying with the Lions. I don't know. That's almost worse. That's not worse. Okay. Number 14. Partially because I don't know what to do with this one and the next one are kind of a toss-up. I didn't know which one to pick where. The Bengals. Just because the last time, but wasn't that a huge loss? Yeah, they got smacked around by the Browns, and then they had their bye week. So it's hard to really say. It's hard to move them like much, but I think that's pretty fair. Didn't they beat the Steelers too? Steelers beat the Browns. Or was that? Bengals beat the shit out of the Ravens. The Lions. I thought they did. I might be misremembering things. But yeah, I'm putting them above the Steelers because I think their offense is significantly better. Steelers might have a better defense, but I don't believe in their offense for a second. For a ding-dang second. I keep clicking off of my stupid list. All right, number 13. Where are they? The Browns. So we got like the majority of the AFC North right here in a row. Browns, not a good time last week, but it's just like we were saying, their consistency is not great. We'll see if they're any better without OBJ, because there was like after OBJ got injured, they were a lot more consistent, which could be part of it, but it didn't really happen this week. So okay, I need to just change this. There we go. So I'll stop doing that. Number 12. Saints. Saints didn't lose terribly. They lost by 2 against the Titans, who are number 1 in the AFC. You could even argue they're number 1 in the NFL. I don't know where the tiebreaker lies between conferences, but unfortunately they're struggling with their quarterback situation, but I think they're still not a bad team. I think they're kind of getting it done differently than you'd expect, at least going into the season. But it just seemed right to put them there. There wasn't anybody, I don't know, going higher. I didn't see anyone I would for sure put the Saints, above. So, number 11, the Chargers. Chargers last week. I'm already blanking. Sorry, I'm super exhausted, but yeah, they lost the Vikings, so not great. Heh, but interception. Um, but yeah, there's kind of this odd stretch between like 9 and 12 where you really can kind of put anybody there and it would make sense. So this is what just felt right to me. Chargers struggling, but I think that they've been at least a little more consistent than some of these other teams. All right, moving up to the next section, number 10, the final piece of the AFC North, the Ravens, that while they're also super inconsistent, they've also schmacked some teams. Yeah, a lot of these teams been crazy. Chargers, I just didn't see like not a terrible loss to the Vikings. I think they're struggling, but I still think they have a lot of talent. Or they all their games have been close. One score, one score, one score, except if you go back a little further. Like I said, you can kind of move these around. It's just would they, you know what? No, I think that's right, having them above the Chargers. I don't know, like I said, I think you can make a pretty strong case to move anybody in that section around. It's like, Saints lost to the Falcons. They did lose to the Titans, but only by 2. Scroll way back up here. Barely beat the Seahawks without Russell Wilson. Ravens are 10 right now. So I'm doing it like numerical, or yeah, I guess reverse numerical. So I'm just it automatically slides them over here no matter where you put it. Number 9, I do have the Chiefs. I don't feel great about that though. I don't feel like they're back. I feel like they just played better. While even being inconsistent, they still can score points. So we'll see if they're actually kind of found a rhythm again, but I don't necessarily. I need to see it for a few weeks before I believe it, because they've had so many weeks just being out of rhythm. All right, number 8. Where are they? Patriots. Their defense is really good. I don't think their offense has done like insane stuff except like this last week. The week, yeah, except this last week they went insane. Like, let's look a little further back. 24 is not bad. 27. Oh my god, then they put 54 on the Jets. Maybe they should be higher. Agree or disagree? So, I mean, they're right there. They're 6-4. They've had some insane wins, and their defense is really good. All right, number 7, Rams. Wow, that's an old logo. All right, I don't even think it's that old, but it's before their like rebrand. Oh, you think they should be higher? I think you could definitely make the case they should be higher than the Rams. Actually, you know what? Fuck it, I think you're right. That's what's actually going to be. I'm going to move them up to 7. Because the Rams have looked not very good the last 2 games, and they're just Stafford just looks inconsistent a lot. Like, not a lot, but like he did against the Cardinals and his last two like games, which were prime time. Maybe he just struggles in prime time. I didn't watch a lot of Lions games when he was there, but like it was not very good looking. Yeah, I think that's a little better because they've blown the hell out of some teams the Patriots have, and their defense is solid. Okay, number 6. The Buccaneers. They lost, so they got moved down a little bit. I think they would have been around like 5-3 before, but it's hard to count out Tom Brady, and they have so much talent on their offense. As much as I love seeing them lose, I don't think they're a bad team, obviously. I think they're going to probably destroy the Giants on Monday. I think just the other teams, it's been a little worse than I think people expected. I mean, they didn't start out strong last year, but it's also Brady's first year in a new system. That one felt right, too. Number 5, the Bills. So the Bills got moved down a shit ton in a lot of like power rankings because of their like last few losses. If we go up to here, like they had some, like this one particularly dropped them down a lot in a lot of power rankings. And just like their offense has been kind of inconsistent too. When last year they were super consistent. Where's the other game that like really hurt? I think losing to the Titans was big. I still think they're a really good team. And I mean, they're top 5, I think, still. I think defense, good. And their offense really, like, it struggled, but also has still had a lot of that same explosiveness that it had last year in some of those games. It's just not quite there. Not as often. Number 4, Cardinals. It's hard to kind of judge where they are as a team after the Packers loss because the last 2 weeks have been Colt McCoy. And while they did win against the 49ers, they got embarrassed last week. But it's hard to kind of knock them too hard when it's a backup quarterback. And I think you can make a case for them to be lower. I don't think there's much of a case for them to be higher, especially because recency bias is going to, like, you know, it's all what happened last week and the week before that's going to set a lot of these rankings. And they haven't done, like, their offense hasn't exactly been huge compared to what it could have been these last 2 weeks if Murray was healthy. But I think that's a good spot. Their defense is getting exposed for how awful they are at the run. I think I said it before, but I'll say it again. The only reason they haven't seen how bad the Arizona Cardinals run defense is and people aren't talking about it near as much is because they would get to such leads that they would not be able to run. Don't bring that back, ABS. Haunts my dreams. Okay. I think you can make arguments for these top 3 as well. Moving any of them around. But number 3, drum roll. Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys offense has been really fucking good. Like, they're the number 3 seed. I mean, it's hard to like say anything else. Like, people will probably, like, if they're trying to knock them, they'll say strength of schedule garbage, but you can only play who you play. Like, you think too low, CD? I would assume you would. If it makes you feel any better, the only 2 above them are literally the only 2 with a better record. But yeah, they just had that. What loss was it? play the Titans today, you'd win. I think there's a very good chance of that. I also think that the Titans are on a roll right now too. I think if your secondary, like the Cowboys secondary plays well and they need to run, I think they absolutely could win. Yeah, these two spots I've struggled with. But let's see. So let's do a final tally of how many points the Titans have had. 23, 28. Let's just go like the last 3 weeks. 34, so that's pretty good. And the Packers offense, 17, not much. 7. Oh, that's the Cardinals game. 24. I was going to do the Packers first, but number 2, Packers. I was thinking the Packers is number 1, but because their defense is so good, but their offense has really not been that great. Yeah, no, you guys. Every team's had a bad game. I just think right now, like, the Packers defense has been really good and the Titans have been on fire. At first, when I was making it, I was putting the Cowboys at number 1. I think that just part of like these you have to kind of consider is the records, but you only if you played one less game. That's the only difference. Shouldn't have beaten the Saints. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes you steal one. Sometimes, the Cardinals stole one against the Vikings. Yeah, Packers, it's just their offense. You would think an offense, they're obviously we're missing people, but they're off. You would think the offense with Aaron Rodgers and still the same players from last year would be scoring more points. There's a lot you can definitely praise the defense for with how injured their defense is and still's doing amazing. How many weeks have the Packers scored more than over 30? So far, none. There's 30 once. Twice. Oh, I don't even have to go to week 1. So they've scored over 30 points twice. The thing is, their defense is number 3 in points allowed, so they don't have to score a ton. But right now, I think the Titans are, I think, the top. Because and this has obviously no reason that should affect it, but it's very impressive that they're winning, without Derrick Henry, which was their, offense. That was what their team, ran through Derrick Henry. It's like most of these other teams' quarterbacks. And he's been out for, 2 weeks now? And Jonathan Taylor just caught up to the rushing totals that he has. He just tied with Henry this last week. The Packers have a good defense. The end is near. Yeah, last time that happened, they won the stupid Super Bowl. I think that they've had good defenses, I think, other times, but they definitely had a good defense, I think, when they won. Yeah, Titans, I think they deserve their moment in the sun because they are the clear leader of the AFC. They've won a lot of games in a row, other than dropping one to the Jets, and then the Cardinals. They destroyed them in week 1. But I have a feeling if they were to meet up in week 3, the Titans probably would have won. The Titans, for whatever reason, the Cardinals were able to stop Derrick Henry, and I have no idea how. I think it was because J.J. Watt was still there, but... Oh, yeah, we can go over that. So that's what this is. It has it, I believe. It's part of it. Right here, we'll go to... Does it have a bracket? No. So I'm positive there'll be... See if one of these has a pre-made bracket. Oh, here we go. Yeah, there. So this is what the brackets would be. Unless you're trying to say uh, like guessing each game and where like it would go. Which, if that's the case here. Panthers win. The Panthers destroy the Cardinals every time. I don't know why. The last 5 times they've played, the Panthers have won by 10 plus. Cowboys beat the Saints. This one's an interesting one. I think the Buccaneers win at home. Like guessing all the way. Okay, I'd have to. I'll make a bracket graphic. That's a weird combination of words. Because I need to make one for my picks and stuff too that I want to like reference. So I'll have some stuff to work on this week and this weekend. But we can do like just at least this for now. Bills Chargers, the Bills win. Patriots Ravens would be an interesting matchup. I don't know, man. Right now, I think the Patriots would win. I think that with their defense, I think the Patriots would win. Yeah, I thought so too. And I think the Chiefs would win against the Steelers. I don't think that the Steelers offense could keep up with half of a Mahomes. Y'all, you think you'd take Pittsburgh? Chiefs defense is terrible. I'm going to go back and just reference their scoring for the Chiefs here. 41. They have a bye that week? No. 13. That's not good. Defense is good. Yeah, that could be. It's their offense I'm worried about. 20. 3. 31. Where are you, Chiefs? 20. 42. Man, they've been so fucking inconsistent. 24. 35. And 33. Yeah, I mean, I think I'd just be giving it based on home field advantage at that point. I don't think necessarily. I don't think Pittsburgh offense bad, but like better than I guess I kind of thought. They've scored more than I thought, but and I think home field advantage is big in the playoffs because it's going to be a lot more of the home team than a normal like actual game. Because I mean, the thing is, I don't know what it's like with a normal team where there actually are fans of them that show up. But like Cardinals games, if it like half the teams in the NFL, it feels like it's an away game for the Cardinals, just because there are so many there's so many people that moved from like these other places that came to Arizona, and they're like, this is my main team, but the Cardinals are my second team. Like, there's so many Packers fans. There's a ton of Bears fans. There's a ton of Seahawks fans. Those are the main 3 like that I see around for sure. For sure. I would agree. I literally was just basing it on home field. I think that would be the difference in that matchup. I mean, because you don't know what Chiefs you're getting each week. I think you know what Steelers you're getting each week. You'd never know like Chiefs this year. My dogs are barking. All right, we got the got the tier lists, went through. Playoff picture as of now. I'll get a bracket going and we can go like kind of just throughout the whole deal. But yeah, I think that's good. So this is kind of what I'm doing for these. It's going to be real quick. It's just going to be me going through this stuff, and I'll make actual videos for it later too. So, you know, if you guys can't make it, they'll be as videos as well, and I'll release them throughout the week. So I'm going to edit those tonight and put them out, but that is going to be it. Again, real quick, just like real quick, like hour ones to get this stuff all done, hang out, chat for a bit. But thank you guys so much for hanging out. I will be back. When do the Cardinals play? Okay, they're the afternoon game. So Sunday afternoon, I will be back once again. 2:25 Arizona time. I don't know what that is other places. But yeah, thanks for hanging out and chatting. Let me know. I mean, you guys already let me know. But yeah, super glad to see you guys again.